You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live This Week, featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Derrial Christon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I am your host, Derrial Christon. Joining me today is Courtney Stewart.
What's up, everybody?
DJ Jesse J. We got a lot of great things to talk about on today's show, including Mr. Jay Ellis from BET's The Game has got a new gig.
Hey.
There's a new couple alert, Serena Williams and Drake. And not so great in the news is we have updates on the Virginia reporter and cameraman shooting that happened this week. But first, we're going to talk about the buzz meter question from last week, which was, is there still a need for HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities? You guys voted. 70% of you said yes, and 30% of you said no. What do you guys think about that?
I'm actually surprised the number is
that high. Is that high?
Yeah.
I sort of am too, a little bit.
I kind of expected
I thought
it to
people
be
were kind
more
of in the middle,
50,
or like
50,
60-40.
60, yeah, something like that. Well, that's a good sign.
There is still hope for
There's
HBCUs.
hope for them.
I think they're needed. I mean, I definitely think that they're needed.
I mean, after last week's discussion, I feel it.
Yeah.
Donate some money, y'all.
Donate money.
Keep them alive. Otherwise, they ain't going to beat her.
Right. All right. Well, the buzz meter question for today is, do you think Donald Trump is racist? He's been in the news again.
Why would anyone
ever think
I have
that?
no idea.
You guys let us know what that answer is, and we'll read those results next week. We're going to move on to trending topics with DJ Jesse J.
Well, BHL's BFF, Jay Ellis.
That's my boy.
We heart him.
Congratulations, sir. He is, filming a new HBO comedy pilot called Insecure. You remember the, what was it, YouTube
Missing
short
Adventures
Awkward
of
Black
Awkward
Girl?
Black Girl.
With Issa Rae. Well, this is based off of that. So basically, Insecure is awkward experiences of the modern-day African-American woman through the eyes of Issa Rae.
I'm so excited.
I'm really
Can't
excited
even
because
explain to you
Awkward
how
Black
excited.
Girl is
the
everything.
best web series ever,
Yeah.
and she is so smart, and it came together so well. And now that she has HBO behind her, like, I can't wait to see what they come up with. And what's his name? Whitmore.
Whitmore, yeah.
Is co-producing / I think helped write on it. So I'm excited.
I'm happy for Jay. I mean, he's a good friend as well as being a fan of BHL, and he is a solid, down-to-earth individual, and all of the success that he continues to get, he still stays humble.
He's so cute.
And women love him.
So cute.
So,
Amen.
Look at that picture.
so I'm happy for him, and he's very talented. So,
Look at that picture.
So congratulations, y'all. I can't wait to check that out. Moving on from that, though. Y'all hear about this wine train?
I'm not even sure how I still feel about it.
It's so funny because I felt one way about this story, and then I had an incident happen the other day, and I was like, I might have to reconsider my question. So basically, the Napa Valley wine train. Have you guys ever been on this?
I have.
Before I set this up, explain to us what your experience was like.
A lot of drunkenness and being loud. I was with my family and friends. It was actually for a wedding. So we were just, but to our defense, we had been drinking all day. So when we
It's
got,
a wine
that's
train.
the point.
I know, but I'm saying in addition, outside of the wine train is what I'm trying to say. And then we got on the wine train and continued drinking, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's festive, and
But is it like a dining train? Like, do you eat on the train? Is
Yeah,
it
you can
like,
eat. I mean,
is it like when you go on to ride an actual train, it usually is quiet because everyone's traveling, or is it more like talk, eat, mix with wine and cheese and friends?
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting and talking. It's like being on a train, and they're pouring the wine, and you got your bottles that you bought. And
You drinking, you snacking, you hanging out.
you're hanging. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the situation. Lisa Johnson and 10 members of the Sisters Reading Edge Book Club were riding on the train, enjoying themselves, having a little wine, having a little chat, keeping up with the girls, you know what I mean? Just checking it out, you know?
Little chit chat.
Well, some people on the train felt that
Somebody
that I didn't know felt some sort of way about it,
Wow.
and she complained Sorry, my brain just always goes. Check out the beat, Black Hollywood Live. Always goes to music. Somebody complained saying that these women were obnoxious, they were loud, and they needed to get off of this train.
And she rolled up to him, y'all. Said, "This ain't no bar."
Honey,
I'm sorry.
you're right. It's a wine
sells
train.
Wine and food. That's
It's
a bar.
technically a bar.
That's a bar on wheels.
You know?
And you've already paid for it.
Right. I'm a paying customer. So, the girls were offended and kind of like, well...
Bye,
Do you
Felicia.
mind? Bye, Felicia. Bye,
Felipe.
Felipe. Bye. And whatever. They start documenting the situation on Facebook, talking about laughing while black. Well,
I love that. I kind of love that, actually.
the train came over and, well, the train didn't come over. The train pulled over and was like, y'all, you gots to go. Being too loud, doing the most. So obviously Lisa Johnson, she's on her Facebook, tweeting, Instagram, and talking about why are we getting kicked off? We basically got kicked off the train for laughing while being black. Everyone's having a good time. We sitting there. I mean, these bitches are from a book club. Like, how loud can they really be?
And it was like grandmas to,
you see the pictures.
I mean,
and there was
I hear
one
you.
white lady in the group.
But when we together and we got some
that was
alcohol,
real
we
loud.
can get a little loud. Think how loud we can get us three
I totally agree.
with just a tequila shot.
Do
You know
I
what
think
mean?
they were loud as hell? Absolutely. They were
Absolutely.
probably
You know they were.
painfully loud,
Right.
and it was probably
And laughing.
annoying to the boring people that came as a couple,
I
want to
just
sit
wanted
and
to
just
drink
drink
my
wine. But that's
wine.
not what it's for. Like, that's not what you're
Well,
doing.
it
Like,
is,
I
but
mean,
there's also, you have to
it's
understand
not
that
what it's
there's
for.
other...
There's other people. That was what it was for you, but that's not what it was for them. And that was a group of 11 women.
Right.
Even if they were just talking, it was going to be loud. So that's crap.
You know what I think they should do? I think they should have different sections on the train. If you want to be quiet, there should be like a quiet section. And if you
I agree with that.
are
That'd be
open
cool.
to being able to have some festive activity.
Because some people really do take the wine thing to that kind of level, and that's
Yes.
great. But this isn't
Listen,
the place
I know
for
I'm
that.
loud. When I drink,
This
I
is,
get loud.
I'm loud as hell. I'm
So
loud
I ain't
right
gonna
now
lie.
just because
Right,
I had a
I'm loud
little
right now.
vodka in my
And
cup.
that's not you sitting in the winery in a nice restaurant. Like, they weren't.
I'll be loud there,
You're
too.
on the
Right,
train.
I'm loud there
You're
too.
putting liquor in your system. Like, let's just really talk about what the thing is. You're in a small room for how long is this?
Mine was like 2 hours. hour
Done.
and a
I
half,
would have been
2 hours.
shit-faced hammered, talking to everybody on there, making best friends with everyone's Instagram. Bitches, I would have been
You
kicked
said
off.
everybody's Instagram.
Sure would have
though.
been
It's
tweeting them.
2015, boo.
Sure would have been. So the train, Napa Valley Wine has released an apology.
Yeah, after they posted bull crap talking about these women were like physical and aggressive and inappropriate and all kind of stuff, and then snatched that down real quick when one of the ladies came for them, like, what are you talking about? And had these women met by police officers
Why
when
they-
they got off the freaking train.
Why are they trying to make them the old lady gang?
Thank you.
Right, like Ethel sitting back here
Ethel
just
was
worried.
she didn't beat
has got
nobody
a
with her
cane.
cane. She didn't hit nobody with that.
Ethel looked like she would hit you with the cane if she needed
She
to.
should have.
But
That white lady that came
Ethel-
up there talking about this
Ethel's
ain't no
good.
bar.
But my thing is,
Well, that
why
looks like
isn't
my
the white
grandmother,
woman
actually.
who complained picture being spread around the web? I want to see
I
what this
saw
bitch
it.
look. Oh, you did? I didn't see.
Isn't that the picture, unless it was somebody else, but I'm pretty sure one of the ladies posted the picture of her walking towards them.
Oh, I didn't see that picture. Because I want to see
somebody
that
made
picture.
that
I
up.
want to
You
find
know-
her
you
Twitter
don't
and
know
Instagram. I'm gonna
what
spam
everything's
her account. Because I'm just like,
Rude.
girl, like, come on.
I just
And
been
now-
in that situation and I just don't appreciate it at all.
What, being in the loud group?
Being in a loud group of
it's typical for me.
people of color
Yeah.
and having a non-color person being like, even if
Yeah.
if the environment is, don't get me wrong, I understand there are definitely environments where like, y'all need to shut up. Like
Right.
at the movie theater, please stop.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
trying to watch a
Right.
movie. Like, I'm not trying to act like we weren't loud, but there are some atmospheres where that is perfectly permissible. And if I'm playing my bill just like you are, you don't get to tell me how I get to behave right now. Just like I don't get to tell you how to behave. And if you want to behave like that, and if you don't like it, go away.
Okay. Bitch, buy some headphones.
Leave. Because I've been out with my girlfriends having a good
Or
time.
drink some more wine and get a little tipsy where the volume don't even
Loosen
bother
up,
you.
girl.
Loosen up.
Loosen
Girl, you
up.
want to play dominoes? We
Come
got
hang
Uno
out.
right here.
We can
Get that
chat.
cork out
you
your
can
ass.
join our book club.
Get the cork out your ass.
Literally.
Literally. Get the cork out your
Literally.
ass.
You are a party pooper.
So all I know is Napa Valley Wine Train, guess where where I will not be going because clearly you want to stunt on people's good times. So I will not be riding on that.
Yes, us three would definitely
And
get
now they're
kicked
trying
off.
to
Let's
give them
keep it
like
honest.
free tickets and like all kinds of stuff to make up for it. They're trying to make up for it. They
Of
have
course, they don't want that bad publicity for black folks. This is not the time.
Somebody actually released online like there's a whole like list apparently of black wineries that I didn't know about that are in the Napa Valley area that was circulating on Facebook. I emailed it to myself. I'll tweet that out because I don't remember what it was. But I was like, oh, so other places that you can patron instead of.
Oh,
I'd like to know that actually. Yes. Yeah, let me see that
Which
list.
I didn't
we
realize.
should do a
there were that
BHL
many.
tour.
Can
would
we
be
please
fun.
do that instead of the ghetto cruise?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's.
Sorry,
Yeah, let's
Bill.
not talk about that on air.
Yeah, that's an offline conversation.
Well, speaking of online conversations, maybe you guys have heard of DraftKings.com. Daryl, are you into fantasy football?
You know what? I have been known to play a little fantasy football, but what I do like about DraftKings a little bit better than what I play with just my friends is the amount of money that you could possibly win for
Yes,
the
honey,
prizes.
yes.
Yeah, first place is $2 million, second place $1
$1
million.
million.
But there's over $10 million in prizes overall. So basically, what you guys got to do, if you know how to play fantasy football, I don't really
I
know.
really need to learn because
I'm
that's
gonna
some real
learn.
cash dollars.
I mean, but you could kind of play and
What do you
like
do?
what's
You
good with
just, like,
DraftKings
pick
though is you can kind of
whoever?
play at your own leisure and you can dabble in it and kind of figure it all out too.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go sign up, and so basically the cheat code is geek. So you go onto DraftKings.com, enter geek, and it'll get you set up to win $2 million or $10 million in prizes. So make sure you guys check that out. DraftKings.com, promo code geek.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. We're going to move on now to gossip with Courtney Stewart.
Yes, we have a little gossip in the world this week because there's always gossip. There's a new couple alert.
Love is in the air.
We call them, what did you call them? Shrake?
Shrake.
Shrake.
Because it was like, do you want Salmon, which is Serena in common?
yes.
Or Shrake?
All right,
names.
so let's dive into this. Shrake,
Tell us
i.e.
about this
Serena
picture you're
Williams
looking at.
and Drake. So they were spotted canoodling and making out and making nice at a restaurant in Cincinnati. And for those of you guys that don't know, that Drake showed up to Wimbledon last month and he posted like, "Hey girl, you look good with your prize." That's not what he said, but that's my version of what he said. And she was holding her
It was more
Wimbledon
like,
trophy.
hey girl, you look good with your prize.
and you know it.
And you know it.
So, word on the street is even though they're trying to pretend like we don't know, they are together. And they had a little situation where they kind of were together back in 2011 and it didn't quite work out because he was letting the hoes interfere, the hoes, the thoughts, the cousins, and all of that.
And then she
whatnot.
went to Common? Was that in between this?
Yes. And so sources say that at first her friends were kind of like, girl, you know what he was on last time. But now it seems like people are starting to come around. Mind you, that happened in 3 days over gossip media. Because like Tuesday, everybody was like, sources say her friends are like, no, girl. And then by today, everybody's like, he's great. And he's really like courting her and like taking her out and like being a gentleman and like seems to be really serious. And then TMZ caught Common, her ex.
I saw that.
On the side of the road one day and asked him what he thought. And he was very diplomatic and
He was.
very
Of
kind.
course.
Like, oh, Serena's amazing. She deserves all the happiness
She's
in the
my
world.
best friend. We're
She's
great
my best
friends.
Like
Yeah.
everything. But his body language, to me, did not say that entirely.
What did it say? Give us Courtney's
To me, his
rendition.
body language was like,
What was he
"That
thinking?"
motherfucker got
See,
my
I couldn't tell if his reaction was that the TMZ dude had asked him the question because he was kind of like, dude, that relationship was mad old. I mean, why are you asking me about that? She's a friend. I've moved on. She's moved on.
Because
As long
people
as she's
still
happy.
ask about Britney and Justin. People still ask about, like, it's just like, it's
and
a
you're a
forever
celebrity,
thing.
like you know that's gonna happen.
I know, but
And
I'm
not
saying
only
I
that,
would be
but,
annoyed
like-
too, though. If I broke up with somebody
I
or
still
broke up
want the
5
sex
years
tape
ago,
of Common and Serena out.
But and
Wow.
she's
just
and
Common,
also
but-
because she's having like the
Wow.
year of her life,
Once again,
like she's
wow.
having the year. You guys,
wow,
You wouldn't want to see that?
I don't really
Yeah, girl,
like
bye.
sex
I kind of
tapes.
would. I can't.
You
I
wouldn't
don't
wanna see
like
Common
sex
naked?
tapes. No,
Really?
the fantasy.
She's not telling the truth.
The fantasy is always better than the reality.
No, I believe Common's reality.
Well, you know what? That might be true because women are not as visual as
No,
men. So
I don't want to
that might
like
be
see
true.
it all like. Ugh. I don't want, whatever. We're not talking about me. But anyway, Serena and
We're not
Drake,
talking about sex tapes either.
Yes, we are. Jesse's a
they
girl.
were.
Derrial sided with me though.
I did.
But anyway, Serena and Drake are together, supposedly. That's the word on the street. I'm personally not thrilled about it. I was like, Drake? But whatever.
That's what I'm just like.
Really?
Like, I don't know what it is about Common just because he's so tall and just big.
Did you just lick your glass?
That's Drake. That's common. I mean,
He's
you're just like,
Wow.
everything.
It's just
You
because
licked
he's
your
like a
cup for
poet.
comment.
Everything.
He's like a poet, and he's like, but I know he's not like all that based on like everybody talking like, he's a man whore and he's done his dirt.
I mean,
whatever.
who ain't a whore nowadays?
I'm not a whore.
Well, I know what we aren't. But in that world,
I just think it's, I don't
Drake a
know.
whore
I just
too.
feel like Drake, I'm one of those people that doesn't get the Drake attraction at all.
Really? Drake's cute.
No.
I feel like he would have nice conversation.
Drake is another curious George.
But the thing about Serena is, like, I've been to Serena's
like
house.
powerhouse, like, just
She
She's
has a
sultry and sexy.
stripper pole in her
Goddess, like-
game room.
hey girl.
I want to go to her game room.
Can I hang out, Serena?
But she likes to play karaoke with David Spade and like Uno and Apples
Both
to
of them,
girl, she's a regular
Venus
chick.
and Serena seem like they'd just be fun. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so that's
Just-
why I'm like, maybe Common was just too serious, and like Drake is like,
I
hey.
think Common was too serious.
He just looked like he'd be all types of serious. Like,
But he looks like he would like.
yeah.
I feel like he'd just be giving spoken word all the time.
Take
He'd
it down.
be like, I'm just trying to, I just want to do something simple. You can be spoken word. I just want to go
I feel
get
like
some
Common
coffee.
don't speak at all. I feel like
Like
Common
water for
uses time
chocolate.
for everything. I mean, we need to change the subject. Let's go.
We are definitely having another conversation.
We are on one today.
Well, anyway, good luck. Good luck, Drake and Serena. I'm not really rooting for you.
Dang.
I mean,
Black love.
We're rooting for love.
Black
I
love.
root for
Support
love,
black
and if
love.
she's happy, then she's happy. But I just am like, Drake, really?
He gets him though.
He doesn't. I don't understand.
Maybe it's the
Whatever.
beard. Maybe she likes the beard.
I mean, he does look better with the beard, in my opinion. But whatever.
He does look better with a beard.
I'd actually rather continue talking about Serena and Drake than what we have to talk about next.
No, we have to, because I rewatched this clip so
I
many
did too.
times.
He's crazy.
I couldn't wait to talk to you about this clip.
So, Donald Trump is in the news again
Every day.
every day, and we are subscribing to that because we're talking about him too. He had a press conference in Iowa in which he further expressed his what I call racist opinions about people. But anyway, so he was having his press conference, and Jorge Ramos, who is a reporter for Univision, he is a respected reporter, was at the at the press conference, and out of turn, Jorge did, pop up to ask Trump a question.
And you know Trump don't like that.
Trump definitely don't like that. Don't like that at all.
Has he kicked other people out for stepping out of line? Do we know that?
Well, I mean,
As far as we know, no.
yeah.
In
but
terms of on this press
trip,
tour,
this
on this
campaign.
trip,
Right.
maybe, I mean, for Celebrity Apprentice, perhaps, I don't know.
Okay.
But for presidential nonsense, so far not. Okay, so basically, Ramos, had a question. He jumps up. He's going to get his question in. Ramos is obviously asking about some immigration stuff. Trump immediately, jumped on him, sit down. You weren't called on. Which is how it works, at a press conference. They call on reporters to ask their question and go about their way, and Ramos definitely came out of turn. And after Ramos refused to sit down, Trump basically ejected him and told his bodyguard, drag fool out. And so he dragged him out, and Trump told him as he was being ejected, go back to Univision. And he was outside the room or whatever where the press conference was, and the bodyguards or whoever they were very not nice, in my opinion, to this guy. And after some time, apparently journalists inside the room were kind of like, dude, that wasn't cool.
Directly after, I think
whatever,
someone had
what are you
commented on
doing, and blah, blah, blah. So eventually, Trump allowed him to come back into the room. But basically, Trump is being criticized for his comment about the, go back to Univision and whatnot. And
probably not in the
Ramos-
best taste right now.
Some people also criticize Ramos, saying you were out of turn and you were just trying to be grandstand for your network because Univision is gonna like that and blah blah blah. And Ramos actually responded to that by saying no. Actually, I just wanted to ask my question, and if it was grandstanding, it was on Trump's part because he's the one that ejected me. he could have just answered my question and been done. And Ramos has also gotten criticism because his daughter is working for the Clinton campaign. So some people are saying like, you're
conspiracy
really
theory.
for Clinton, and that's why
He's
you're
trying to
being
mess
so
up some
difficult,
things.
and you're
Yeah.
trying to mess some things up. So,
Okay, I thought this was so much worse when I first saw it because I thought he just I didn't know who this reporter was at the time, and I just saw the clip. I rolled out of bed and just looked at the clip, and I just see Trump pointing to some Hispanic man saying, "Go back to Univision." I was like,
no, he
Yeah,
did
and
not.
that's kind of the
"Oh
way
my
that
god!"
the
I was
headlines were
like,
at
just to
first.
say Univision, I was just like, "What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
you just done signed the contract, boy, to every racist comment that ever." And then I found out that he actually was a part of Univision. I was like, "Oh."
Oh, okay.
But I mean, in terms of it, to kick him out, it just kind of adds to your questionable standpoint of why did he have to get kicked out?
Right.
Why couldn't you have just had him silenced or sit down since you didn't want to answer the question clearly, and then right after that another reporter asked you the same question. So the question was going to come no matter what. So I didn't understand where this, and he just looked so irritated. It was just, I don't know how to
very
feel about him
irritated.
really after that, because it was just a really telling clip.
Well, it's two parts to it because I still feel like he hasn't really addressed the issues of the important issues. I'm waiting for
Oh, he
him
thinks
to.
he has. He delivered a plan on immigration.
I mean,
Did
I
you not
saw
read
that,
the
but
plan?
yeah, that was not.
Like a real plan.
That was.
I'm obviously not Team Trump. Okay.
Yes. So, I mean, that, and then also, I just feel that any opportunity for him to have some publicity, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even in this format, So, but the element about Donald Trump that I do respect, though, is that he doesn't really give a damn.
He doesn't have to. He's worth $10 billion.
Well, what's
Well,
interesting
there it
is
is.
that his Donald Trump signature collection is made in
Mexico, yeah. But that's what he's been criticized about. He's the very thing that he claims that he will be fighting against.
Right.
So.
I'm still waiting for him to come out and be like, I was just kidding, y'all. I'm really not running for president. I was
Yeah.
just really.
People keep
This
up-
is part of a whole reality TV show that I've been taping for months.
The scary part, though, is that for those of you who have not seen the clip of him being introduced by Ann Coulter on that's circulating, I think, on
Yeah,
Facebook right now,
it is.
even if he comes out hey, it's a big joke, all
Still looking
his
sideways.
minions are obsessed now, and it's kind of scary. To the point, if you're making signs that say "Thank you, Jesus, for bringing us President Trump,"
You need to
People are crazy.
reevaluate.
and I'm all about don't let me clarify. I am not Democrat. I am not Republican. I vote independent. I vote for who the heck
I
I
didn't
think
know
will
that.
do
Actually, didn't know
anything.
that.
I'm neither, and I understand and I see both sides often. So I get it most of the time. But this, I am clueless. Can somebody please explain to me the draw of Donald Trump? Because he has not said anything. It's sort of like looking at the devil and expecting Jesus to save you.
Damn, you call him the devil.
And I'm not calling him a devil, but it's like looking at the exact thing that you are knowing is evil, not working in your space. He represents big business. He's admitted to that clearly, that I've, jumped the loopholes. I know how to get around, and that's how I'm rich. And therefore, suddenly you're going to fix that so nobody else can get rich? Is that what we're going to believe?
Right.
Because that's what the common man is struggling, that the rich want to keep getting richer based on this system that we've set up and not make any changes to it, and then the common man needs them to make changes for it. So is he really interested in that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense, but what's scary is that his popularity is growing.
It's
in this
growing
campaign.
insane, and
This
people
whole
are like,
campaign is
I
crazy.
mean, it's
to
going to
me,
be really interesting to see where this all falls.
maybe he hired actors for all of it, and this is going to be one big
Well, that's what I told
when
you.
it's over.
I feel like it's some type of
We got
reality TV
punked.
show.
The
We
world got
punked.
punked.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher gonna come out like,
Wouldn't it be the ultimate punking though?
But it would
You know
just
what I mean?
make no sense.
no, because we would all just sit there confused.
Because currently he's
Like
just
why? Yeah, why you even do that?
spending
wasn't
his own
funny.
money.
Yeah. Right.
He's spending his own money, wasting his money. Why would he do that? He's
Right.
not that.
This ain't gonna
dude.
get views on The Apprentice.
And why would he lose all those contracts and Univisions?
And somebody actually said something interesting. They, I forget who it was. I think I was watching Anderson Cooper, but they basically were like, he is making it okay. Because the thing that I actually take the most offense to is his constant justifying everything by saying it's politically correct, or not having to be politically correct. Because there's a difference between political correctness and respecting people. And he does not respect people in general. He's been exceptionally disrespectful. And his answer to that is, oh, I don't have to be politically correct because I'm who I am. So he is like feeding that to lots and lots of people all over the place who have like kept their mouths shut or kept their shit together just because it's politically correct in their brain. And now they're being told, oh, you don't have to do that no more. So people just gonna be running out in the street saying all kind of stuff out the side of their neck, getting stabbed and kicked and beat up. And like, I feel like it's just gonna set off this melee of like fuckery, excuse my term, but
I love that word.
For people that do things at the kitchen table that they say that they know probably ain't really right to be saying to begin with, but they keep it here, but now it's okay because Trump is out there saying it, so they just gonna come out in the street saying it and it's just gonna turn into a hot mess.
Because they say Trump is living in his truth.
Right.
And they're gonna be like, I'm living in my truth too. I hate y'all. And then we're gonna have all kind of racial
Craziness.
Divides and
even
gender
more than what we have right now.
and like worse than we already have because people not even trying to be respectful anymore.
Right. Well, I think that's where we're headed, unfortunately, right now.
I mean,
all right.
looking at this next story.
Right, exactly. Well, before we move to that next story, I want to remind everybody to go to iTunes and look up Black Hollywood Live. Give us a rating, a comment, and let us know what you're thinking about our shows. We have about 11 shows right now. We have The Beat with Jesse. We have Fashion 401. We have Portraits. We have all the way down to Geek Nerd Tech. We want to know what you guys are thinking. You guys have been really great with giving us comments and ratings. We love a 5, but if you don't want to give us a 5, let us know why, and we will continue to build the best programming that we can for you. Go to Black Hollywood Live at iTunes. All right, moving on to the ER Web Story Spotlight of the Week. This is a story that's been in the news this week. It's really crazy and quite tragic. It happened on Wednesday on live TV. Reporter Allison Parker and cameraman Adam Ward were conducting an interview in Roanoke, Virginia. And during this particular interview, a gunman by the name of Vester Flanagan came up and shot them both, as well as the person that they were interviewing, which her name is Vicki Gardner. And during this particular shooting, both Allison and Adam unfortunately lost their lives. The gunman was a former employee with the same station, which is WDBJ TV in Virginia, and a CBS affiliate. So they all had worked together. The employee, Vester, had been fired 2 years prior to, and what they're determining now, what's been reported in the news after his 23-page fax that went to ABC, which was also labeled as a suicide note, is that he was coming for them for vengeance. This is kind of an outline, a couple of details of what was outlined in that 23-page letter. He was attacked for being a gay black man, is what was reported in there. He was a human power keg waiting to explode and go boom. The shootings were a retaliation for the church shootings that happened in Charleston, South Carolina by Dylan Roof, the gunman who we reported about a month ago, who went in there and shot several African Americans in the church after sitting in there for an hour. And one of the last statements that he made in this was that he said, in reference to Dylan's statement about wanting to cause a race war, he said, "You want a race war, bring it." They also have been exploring the fact that he praised Virginia Tech shootings. He's was really into the Columbine shootings, and you know they're talking about the challenges of him mentally, basically, of what's been going on. As I mentioned, he shot himself. He ended up dying as well. He went on a flee. They said that what they found in his car was stamped letters. They found ammunition. They found a wig. They found several other items that indicated that he was probably planning on fleeing the city. As I mentioned as well, he had been fired 2 years ago because of uncomfortable situations, is what the program director at the station has said. They said that he was police escorted out of the building because people were scared about his reaction and kind of how he would react towards them. He sued WDBJ for discrimination, and the case was dismissed. Also, he has had a history of going to other stations and having problems there as well. There was a station in Tallahassee that he was working at as well, and he sued them for $15,000, and the case was settled out of court. He also sent tweets saying that Allison made racist comments about him and that Adam had went to HR about him after only working with him one time. You know, this case has been really, really, really crazy, and a lot of people are starting to really push for this gun control issue that's we've been tackling for the last couple of years, as well as this is also an issue of race, because what some people are saying is that the way that he's depicted in the news is different from the way Caucasian gunmen have been depicted in the news. For example, we've had the situation in Colorado where the theater shootings happen. We've had, obviously we talked about the shooting in Charleston, South Carolina. And the way that they were depicted with the Caucasian gunmen was that, you know, they were gunmen, they were killers, but Vester has been depicted as an animal. He's been depicted as, you know, just some crazy man. And a lot of people say it's racially charged, and because he is a black man. What do you guys have to say about some of this craziness that's going on in the media with this?
I mean, I personally kind of feel like, I get that part of like how he's being depicted. I feel like they've all been depicted the same way. They're all freaking crazy in their own mindsets. But
absolutely.
Before I even get into this, to the people on Facebook, because this irked my damn nerves, talking about, oh, now that this gay man has gone out and killed these people, should we take the rainbow flag down since y'all wanted to take down the Confederate flag? Fuck you. Like, I don't even understand. Because I'm just like that.
Really?
Tell us how you really
haven't
feel.
heard that?
No.
Oh my God, I've seen it a bunch of times on
Facebook.
Facebook. I'm like, how are you even comparing this situation to that? Like, I can't. So anyways, just fuck you to that. Beyond that, now I'm gonna because I know Courtney about to go on a thing.
I'm not.
Oh really?
Go on.
Well, here's my thing with that. But people are ignorant, because I actually went onto the feed after this, because I told myself I wasn't going to do this, but I wanted to see what comments people were making about this in the story, you know, the news about this story. And a lot of it was about black people, black man, this is why black people get bad raps and that kind of stuff. And it really pissed me off, because I'm like, it's not even about a black man, a white man. This is about a gunman who shot 2 people and killed them for vengeance. That's a
no skin color, just psycho.
Skin color. This happens all the time. All different races do it a lot, unfortunately too much. And I was getting irritated the more and more I just was reading these comments, because a lot of them were racially charged. And I'm not defending his actions at all, but there is an element of, you know, they're calling him the angry black man because he had all these racial issues with things. And now, granted, he took it to the extreme, and there clearly was some mental issues going on there, because they even said that they went back to his apartment and there was no kind of indication of who he really was. They said that his bed there was hardly any sheets on his bed, like all the walls, there was nothing on the walls. His apartment wasn't really decorated. The only thing that he had was on his refrigerator was just pictures of him through his years reporting, which is kind of creepy and weird as well. But it's like people always want to turn and make it race, or even just what you're talking about with the rainbow flag. It's like, why does it have to be about sexuality or race? It is about a man who killed 2 people.
But even when
and
the white kid
to kill
did it was about race. It was this crazy psycho white kid, and it always comes down to it. So, but to take all of that out, I'm going to go into my situation of my conspiracy theory, because, you know, I already started telling Courtney this. But I am questioning a few things. I've been watching, what is it, NCIS, late at night.
Not NCIS, though.
What is it?
NCIS. No,
yeah,
it is NCIS.
and my
I'm just
roommate
saying.
had me on the first 48. So I'm just questioning a few things,
That's
okay?
a good one.
Now, this, because I watched the video. I didn't mean to watch the video, but someone literally put it in front of me, and I was like... And then once you see it from one angle, you have to see the other angle, so I watched all the angles. Okay, he clearly comes out with a gun. Now, we've been on a carpet before interviewing people. I mean, I know what is in my surroundings at all moments in time. This man pulled the gun out in front of their faces, said "stupid bitch," and nobody heard that. Nobody flinched. Everyone's so into this conversation.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't give you that, because sometimes when I'm doing interviews, I'm super uber focused on the person who's talking, and the way that the camera angle, he came from the side. He the way it looked is he shot at her first, and then the cameraman. And if you're reporting somebody and you're really in tune with listening to them, you're not necessarily paying attention to someone walking up right behind you, because he still was at an interesting angle where she couldn't necessarily see him.
But Sally Jesse Raphael could have seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just questioning. And then I'm also wondering, the cameraman. Why was he not filming them? Why was he filming, like, the scenery? Like, I've never seen that in news where you're in the middle of an interview and they just start... shooting something else. I don't know. It's just things that I'm watching from all of this, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. I just get in my conspiracy psycho ways. Did they set this man up? Was this a whole thing to start more of a race war? And I just be crazy in my head. Sorry, y'all. It's just where I go.
I don't know how they would set him up. Let me know how would they be setting him up when he's crazy and had a serious vengeance on wanting to kill these people.
I don't know who they are.
Well, that's a whole other different discussion.
It sure is. I'm only going to keep my comments to myself. I'm just putting it out there for everyone to hear, and they can have their own conversation. All I know is that this was a very sad situation, but I don't think it really comes down to blaming somebody based off race.
Well, they're also blaming social media because they said that we're in a state now where he clearly had his phone in his hand, was filming everything.
He knew what he was going to get out of it.
He knew what he was going to get out of it. He knew that it was going to make the news. He knew that it was going to be broadcast over and over again. And some people are starting to say, we're in this place now where it's just so easily accessible for something like this to happen. But I don't know how we can change that. This is the world that we live in. I mean, we're not going to go backwards with technology and electronics.
But in this situation, to me, Sandra Bland, in that case, is more of a hero, whereas this situation is like, you're killing these people. We don't know what the tea was between all that, and now you post it on Instagram and you sounding crazy, so you just did all this and hurt a whole bunch of people, and now don't even realize the effects of your actions and what it's going to cause in the media in America. That's to me the bigger question mark.
Well, the interesting thing too is that the program director who was at the station that the WA...
Is that the cameraman's wife or girlfriend?
No, this is actually the program director, the WDBJ. She was a producer. But he said that Vester's on-air name was Bryce Williams, which we all know, and that he was actually a pretty good reporter. But they said that his type of temperament was that if he was very defensive. If you corrected him on something, he was always ready to kind of not take the feedback at all. And this is something that they said even when he went through all these different stations that he worked at was the comments that were made about him. And then there was also something revealed today that they started looking into his family life. And apparently there's a story that came out today that his mother, who died in 2008, when he was a young kid with his two sisters, his father had put out a restraining order against his mother because the mother was violently saying that she was going to attack the children and kill the father. So there's they're trying to tie it in now that maybe there's a history of violence in his family that could have mentally affected him, all these different things. So I mean, at the end of the day, he had a lot of mental problems.
It's snapped. I mean, maybe he snapped. I mean, I don't know.
It was a very planned snapped.
Well, it was definitely a planned snap.
But sometimes that's what it becomes.
They're saying it's premeditated. You go into
your psychosis, but that can be a snap. Whatever it is, that made it was the final straw. You decided, I'm gonna do this diabolical plan, and this is what I'm setting out to do, and then you go take care of it. But regardless, it was just awful. And to say why it's weird that it's not cool that they bring up race. He brought up race because of his manifesto.
You're right.
You can't fault media or anything. It was definitely about race. It was definitely about him feeling attacked or as far as we know, feeling attacked.
Right.
Does not necessarily mean he was attacked, but feeling attacked for his race and his sexual preference. And I did not watch the video of them being shot. I refused. Every time it was coming,
I didn't want to, but I did watch it.
I was part of me was I need to because I have to talk about it, but I couldn't put that in my system. I just couldn't do it anymore. In the end, I know that Allison Parker, who was the lady reporter, her father has been everywhere touting
on gun control.
Not going to make this, the end, and it's got to be gun control, and we can't do. It's not just about guns. The man was sick because in the end, if somebody is sick and they want to do something, they'll find a weapon to do it with, and they will find a gun. That doesn't mean I don't think gun control is necessary or needed, or I don't know what the heck at this point. I'm starting to be the person that's nothing's gonna help us. We're all going to hell. So good luck to him, and I hope he stays on it and pushes the way that he's saying that he's going to push and gets the support that he needs. But at the same time, I was paying attention to at least. I was watching CNN and local ABC, a little MSNBC. I couldn't handle Fox. To pay attention to how he was being portrayed, because I wondered if they were just going to be this animal did this.
Right.
And this was but to me, it was fairly even keeled in terms of he was. obviously mentally disturbed. Like, there was a whole conversation, I think it was on CNN, about how he obviously wasn't just a normal angry person. Like, what makes somebody's mind change? Like, they weren't trying to just make him this non-human person because of him being a black man. So I didn't feel that in the reporting that I saw, and I was actually glad about that. But then people still perceive that some way, and then they're also posting on it. Like, it's just an endless cycle of disgustingness that I just wish none of us had to be a part of. So I just say, God bless the family, and I hope at least, even though it's kind of negative to say, like, a crazy angry black man that shoots 2 white people on national or on regional television in front of everybody will maybe make people start to think about the violence in our culture for real.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing it, that's what I think it comes down to, is like, you're literally watching the
people
video.
were watching it live, too, and they were
Live,
even saying that possibly her family had seen it live because they were watching.
I mean, his freaking fiance saw it. She was
fiance
in
saw it, yeah.
freaking the booth watching the recording. Like, I just can't even believe it. But, like, if nothing else makes us look, and, like, because it's not just about guns. Like, it's about something in our heads. Like, something is off. Something is wrong. We're not doing something right. We need to pay attention to. So hopefully that is enough to make people be like, maybe we need to really think about this whole, like, we ain't got no mental hospitals really no more. Like, people getting help with mental health doesn't really exist very much anymore, and maybe we can do something to help
Stricter
that.
tests for gun control.
Stricter something.
Well, they said he actually went through the proper procedures to get his gun.
But see, that's the thing. He went through the procedures that exist.
So
and,
clearly
like,
we need to amp those psych tests up for gun control.
but even in that, in his situation, like, if his psychosis was something that happened, like, I don't know, 2 years, he was fine, he went and bought a gun, and then he has his gun, and suddenly he snaps because something's going on at work, and then he decides he's going to go do this. Is that a gun control going to fix that? No, because we allow guns in the culture in general.
We do.
So, I don't know. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting, but, you know, condolences for the families and for the workers that witnessed everything. It's just very tragic all the way around.
Like, I just can't.
Like, that host, when it went back to her, I was like, God bless you, girl, because I would have been like...
Yeah, she kept it together. She did. All right, the last story that we have to talk about today also has a similarity to guns. It's about Ferguson, Missouri. We spoke about it last week about how people were starting to get warrants for arrest even a year after the Michael Brown shooting that happened last August of 2014. And a new judge has come in this week and has actually issued a new procedure that anyone who has not... The new judge withdrew all arrest warrants if it took place before December 31st, 2014. So this is the complete opposite of the story that we were talking about last week, because we were saying how everyone was in an uproar because they're like, why are we getting these warrants? Why are we getting these things in the mail? This is all took place a year ago. This isn't fair. Where this new judge thinks differently. How the procedure is that the defendants can come down to court and you can either make payments or you can set up for community service possibly, or they said that your warrant just might be washed clean and dissolved. Now, the only criticism that this is getting is that this is technically a voluntary measure. So the city does have the opportunity to change this procedure if they feel down the line that this isn't working. So it's not a 100% rule. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But what do you, Courtney, you're making a face.
I'm just wondering, like, how do you determine it's not working? If you've decided that you've absolved these people of this crime, so to speak, so you're not issuing arrest warrants, but you're telling them they can do, if they don't show up for community service, then they need to, like...
Yeah, actually, that sounds like LA to me.
Sounds like, I was about to say, that sounds like the city of Los Angeles.
Is that what but if it's not, everybody just gets community service, like, that to me, it doesn't.
Well, they said
that
they want people to come in, and it's kind of like a case-by-case basis. I mean, theoretically, overall, they're all...
So everybody that received a warrant, you got to come in and have a conversation and figure out what to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But if they don't come in and have the conversation, does that then mean it's not working?
You locked up, you want me out.
That's the question.
Is that like the determination?
That's the determination.
Interesting.
Hopefully everyone has a PO
So in other words,
go chat, guys.
Yeah, go chat. Get your chat on and make
clean
sure
up the
that
neighborhood.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff burned down. I'm sure there's lots to still clean up. So
you know what? As a community, how about we just do that?
it's like everybody go down there the same day, be like, "What up?"
Well, listen, I also think that this
Get it
was a
done in
smart
one
move for
swoop.
them because, as we were saying last week on the show, is that by issuing these new warrants for people, it opens up a lot of things that people could have lawsuits for because of the way they were treated by the police. And, you know, That city does not need that anymore. So this is actually a smart move to kind of keep that situation in control.
But they didn't totally dismiss it.
Right.
Which is interesting.
Well, can I file a lawsuit against Los Angeles for this 103 degree weather at 6 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Please.
It's almost like Miami a little bit. It's a little humid. All right. Well, I will thank you guys for today's show. I want to remind you to go to the buzzer meter question, which is, do you think Donald Trump is a racist? We sort of talked about that today. We want to know what you guys have to say about it. Let us know. And
Or do you just think he's a jerk?
yeah, or that.
He's just a dick. I think he's just
or
a
that.
dick.
Leave us a comment on YouTube and on iTunes. Let us know. Courtney, where can your fans find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stuart Starlet.
Jesse, where can fans find you?
Everywhere, DJ Jesse J.
You can find me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can actually find me and Jesse on WAGS, the new E! Show on Tuesday nights on AfterBuzz TV as well. And everybody have a great weekend. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.